I say all praises and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem MICROCHIP, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to all our brothers and out there push the truth in our sincerity and in our honesty. This is a brother from Jamaica camp, Yashimai.
Iwar.
You know, and today we want to my video on this whole digital society thing where, you know, out here in Jamaica, our leaders out here basically push. You know, likewise, you know, right across the world. You see, but over the years we've been doing a lot of videos, you know, on this whole NIDS thing for them basically the past, the bill for the NIDS. I think from 2017, you know, when it started to come out, you know, publicly. We've been doing a lot of, you know, videos and bringing out a lot of information about NIDS until them claim to say them vote it out, you know, in a court. And then we see Angeles now because of this whole coronavirus thing now must be out of a digital, you know, digital identification thing right now, because as we've been saying over the years, is through the spirit and power Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, it's all they doing now. The banking elites, you might want to basically, you know, push this agenda across the world. Not Angeles come out with him own plan or him, you know, him own decision basically bring forth a new identification system in Jamaica. It's basically taking place worldwide. See, that we live at the time now when the identification system, we see them countries use. You have certain countries like, for example, Kenya basically roll out for them e-passport, you know, and I believe Nigeria too. And Ghana, it's the same time when they claim them roll out through national ID out here in Jamaica 2018, and 2019 is supposed to, you know, supposed to up and running, but they vote it out. So these countries been basically preparing, you know, just like how Jamaica, that push it. You have country across the world that pushes digital thing. But now, you know, things are basically going more faster now because, you know, in the time now, East Item want to basically collapse, you know, this whole economy system, or this whole fiat currency system and move out to a digital society. So now here Joel is speaking about, you know, everybody's supposed to have a bank account out in Jamaica. You see, because this is basically the way when the world are basically moved to. So the future. Go on, brother.
This is an article from the Jamaica Observer, published Tuesday, April 21st, 2020.
One
says we have to become a digital society, get a bank account to start. PM. Then, this Prime Minister Andrew Holness is strongly urging Jamaicans to move into the digital age, saying that it is the way of the future.
This is what? The way of the future, because this is how East Side want to basically bring forth this digital society. You know? So them can basically bring in them roll out them RFID microchip. Get everybody chip because that's the end goal. You know, over the years we've been speaking about it, the RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast without a doubt. You know, we live in a time when this prophecy will come to pass in full effect. We have basically warn our people, you know, about these things here, because according to the scripture, if you take the RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast, you're going to get destroyed. What?
This is it's like Revelation 14 and verse 9. I say, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image.
If any man worship the beast and his image, beasts are basically our NATO alongside the EU nations. You want the image, the so-called white man system, so-called white man, you know, way of life here. Like this new world order agenda we've been pushing across the world, even out here in Jamaica. Go on? Go on, sustainable development goals.
If any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand.
God, if you receive his mark in your forehead or in your hand,
the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, which is poured out without mixture.
The same, so you have to drink of the wine of the wrath of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. You know that ICBM missile fire will basically burn America. I mentioned the Revelation, the lake of fire, they're going to get destroyed. Burn. According to Zechariah 14 and 12, so the highs are basically consumed away in the hole. So this is the judgment of if I take this so-called white man RFID microchip. Go on?
Which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation,
Gone.
and he shall be tormented with fire
And he shall be
brimstone
tormented with fire and brimstone. Go on.
in the presence of the holy angels
Gone.
and in the presence of the Lamb.
Gone, because you know, Lord the house shall come with flame fire also. You know, laser, powerful laser beam to these chariots fire. You know, so-called white man refer to these chariots as UFO, aerial phenomenon. Lord come back with thousands and thousands of chariots. You know, the man who people ignorantly call Jesus, the true name in the Hebrew is Yahushai. Because you know, most of the land of America, you know, when all these ICBM missiles fire up in America, but guess what? You cannot escape the chariots. The Lord Yahushai come back with them, take the so-called white man ship, they're going to get destroyed you, one way or the other. The judgment basically written here. Go on.
It says the Prime Minister made the call last evening during the digital COVID-19 press briefing at Jamaica House. It says too much of our business require us to travel when there are more convenient, cheaper and more efficient ways of doing business. We have to become a digital society.
Exactly. Says it's the agenda, you know, been speaking about over the years. You know. This is our Isa Edom, you know, pass on to our leaders out here in Jamaica, basically push out here, bring out ID 2020.
This is an article from RD 2020. It says we need to get digital ID right. Right. It says it says identity is vital for political, economic, and social opportunity. But systems of identification are archaic, insecure, lack adequate privacy protection for over 1 billion people, inaccessible digital identity is being defined now, and we need to get it right. So this is what I'm going to push. It says right here. It says, but technology is evolving at a blinding pace, and many of the transactions that require identification are today being conducted digitally.
So this is the way our country basically move towards. Likewise, you know, all these highlands, you know, worldwide. Because even in Barbados, you know, when the leader for Barbados speaking about this new ID, new identity. Even the Barbados, you know, I think about a month ago, speaking about the 6 months, I believe them say, about them rolling for them new identification system, because this is what the world are pushed towards right now. They all go back to Agenda 2030, goal 16. You know, bank lead goals, you know, basically bring forth them new world order.
This is right, man.
What?
In transactions that required identification are today being conducted digitally, from e-passport to digital wallets.
E-passport, like as I mentioned earlier about the e-passport, when I roll out, you know, from what then, in Kenya, I believe in Nigeria, even Barbados. You see, before them start to speak about this ID thing now, they pop up on the scene now, and they speak about the e-passport. Okay. So Isa Edom, you know, use basically in subtlety, because certain countries use, you know, national identification card, and certain countries use e-passport. So, you know, people can't really see it's a system we are push, you know, right across the world. So use different name at different places.
Indeed, in pseudoscience, man.
Even in Venezuela, if Venezuela even wrote a freedom idea also, this is because a worldwide thing. As I mentioned earlier, I go back to Agenda 2030, goal 16. You know, national identity supposed to basically push, you know, right across the world. Go on. Of a poor phrase basically written. Go on.
So from e-passport to digital wallets, online banking, social media
like
accounts.
Like the mobile wallet, you know, Jamaica push right now. You have even Sagicor, you know, with swipe. So all these things we've been doing over the years have basically bring forth, you know, this thing, you know, It's digital society. Go on.
It says online banking to social media accounts. These new forms of digital ID allow us to travel, conduct business, access financial and health records, stay connected, and much more. See? So things that go right back into your health and them things. Because you know them have this thing where them show you say boy them have this RFID thing where them can attach to your body or put in your body. That's in case in a situation and you're there home and you need help, you can use it see? If you're in like trouble, emergency, like anybody problem, you have people with them get strokes and all of them stuff, them can use it, see? You get hit, man.
This is Psalm 64 and verse 5. So they encourage themselves in an evil matter.
They encourage themselves in an evil matter. Talking about with the banking leads you. Them basically keep them meetings. Right? Bilga Burger, Beatles, and all these things, you know, them are basically bring forth this new world order agenda across the world. You know, while majority of people, you know what the hell what take place. You see, because you know, say, majority of people are our people right now, they know what the hell what going. You see? So she was them encourage themselves in an evil matter. One?
The commune of laying snares privately.
So they commune of laying snares privately. So them set them trap privately. One?
They say who shall see them.
They say who shall see them, because this whole digital society where you say them a push right now if you accomplish, you really and choose a chop onto us. Because you have to basically monitor every single thing what you do. You have Jamaica been speaking about Jamaica High. You know, all these things are going to basically work together. You know, study basically your moves. You know, we're going to a certain place. Every single thing that I'm going to go about basically. You know, the database go on.
Right. So they search out iniquity.
They search out iniquity. Go on.
They accomplish a diligent search.
They accomplish a diligent search. So they do a lot of searches. Years, span of years. You know, these men been planning. You know, this new world thing where they want basically, you know, have, you know, one world government. You know, one army. You know, them in full control and get rid of the majority of our people. Years, part of years, they've been planning. Even if them father, pass on to them. Because, you know, the Lord don't want to basically put a spirit upon them, basically fulfill Bible prophecy. You see, because all this go back to a Bible prophecy according to Job 20 and 22. So what I say, in the fullness of their sufficiency, they shall be in strength. Every hand at the wicked, talking about the laborer. Because the word wickedness basically go back to Aymal, I believe. Mean laborer, you know, shall come upon him. When he's about to fill his belly, meaning when he's about to accomplish them new world order, and them think they're going to accomplish it, you know, things start to happen. Jamaica get put to death and all these things. People get chipped, brought to concentration camp and get chipped. You know, all these things that take place. Give us the Lord shall cast out the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he's eating. So all what he's eating on the right now for us basically fulfill prophecy.
All the food they might eat now, he might consume.
Go on.
So it's they search out iniquities.
Go on.
They accomplish a diligent search.
They accomplish a diligent search. Go on.
So both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep.
But the inward thought of every one of them, every one of who, the banking leads, you know, the mind is deep, because the word heart basically go back to what the Hebrew word lab, which basically means mind. So these men are deep thinkers. They don't think like a regular Jake or the regular Edomite.
Right.
You know what I think of? Greater things here. And they want to get rid of majority of people. They want to live forever. Yeah.
Long life.
God.
Jake just want to live to know. Jake said, I'm going to party till
me a rave. I know me are going to the grave.
I know when you are dead, yeah? That's Jake mentality, man, to them. Weak mindset, man.
Man, people say they're not in trouble as other men. Neither are they plagued like other men.
God. I think like you have a God-like mentality.
God,
yeah. It's to control and rule the soul. But you know, rulership mentality.
What about the east side, bank elite, they want we forget you. It's all about the birthright from Genesis. What?
So he said, but Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, shall shoot at them with an arrow, and suddenly they shall be wounded, and they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves.
They shall not make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. So for them own mouth, you know, I basically I bring destruction onto them right now. You see, for example, what Nick Rockefeller, you know, what tell Aaron Russo, so they want everybody chip. They want everybody chip, yo. Total control, they want everybody life. And this is the system where they push now to bring forth that. So they can roll in the RFID microchip. Because this whole digital system or this cashless society where they must speak about, all these leaders across the world speak about. You know, this e-passport as the countries over the years been pushing. You know, this is the ultimate goal of banking later, set up the framework right across the world so they can move over to the digital, so they can move over to the RFID microchip. Which go back to what? Revelation 13 and verse 16. Where John basically get on the island of Patmos, a vision of things to come here. Go on.
You want me to start from 14?
Go on. No, it's okay.
This is Revelation 13 and verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
So if you know with them new world order agenda, and what them basically did, you're supposed to get put to death here. I hear Donald Trump speaking about forced vaccination.
God.
Sure the time we're approaching what basically take place here. What?
And it says, and he causes all, both small and great.
So if I say he causes all, talking about the banking elite here. The wicked rulers of the society. They cause it all. So they want every single body. Not some, everybody. One, just like when Nick Rockefeller tell Aaron Russo. Everybody they want to chip. One.
It says, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond.
Free and bond, go on.
To receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead.
To receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. Which basically go back to the RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast.
You see even Elon Musk coming out the other day with him with the Neuralink thing. Where you must say, boy, you can download music to your brain. See? Via that thing, via the internet through that chip, man. You can constantly have whatever you want to listen to, or basically any information you want just through that chip, man. That's why the scripture says through miracles you are going to see. It says it was up at verse 14, Revelation 13 says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. See? So basically through all the miracles them, man, because that Neuralink thing, it actually them are say, boy, you can use that thing. See? See? It says through that Neuralink thing, they can use it. So in case a man are even crippled, see? They can use that to bypass the spinal cord, see? And get to all of them nerves. We connect it to your to your limbs them. We can cause you to walk again. And then people are get so attached to that because the people say, yo, this is a great opportunity to make me walk again, man. See? So a whole heap of people are gonna receive it, man. You have something wrong with your hand and from strokes and them things there. Them are gonna use it to connect to your brain. And your brain connect to the limbs if you move it, man. See? So all of those things, man. I can bring out the word, the miracle from the
so this miracle on the my sword, right? So it is Samayan.
Samayan, yeah.
It's a sign, mark, token, right? That by which a person or a thing is distinguished, right, from others and is known.
Okay.
A sign, prodigy, right?
Okay.
Potent, right? an unusual occurrence.
An unusual occurrence, man.
Right.
See?
Good
So
attention,
normally you don't see people who don't cripple and doctor don't write them off life. And I say, boy, you're not gonna walk again, man, because your spine damage. Well, with this neuraling thing when they come with, it basically gonna make you walk again, man. See? So it's gonna bypass what the spine for do and naturally connect to that nerves. So your body gonna work. So that is an unusual occurrence to people. See? So you must trick people through that, man.
So you can control it.
Yeah.
One?
It's a transcending the common course of nature.
Can.
Right? Let's jump to this because it's so interesting. Alright, so definition 2 say of miracles and wonders by which God authenticates, right? So the men sent by him, which men prove that the course, that men prove that the cause, right, they are pleading to God, basically.
Can, because they might use by the means that means and through the, I say, boy, a miracle they might work through even the Most High, or they might use this by the Most High to do this, man. Science. They might say science can science versus your religion, man, or your belief. See? So basically, hey, when people are gonna see a lot of these things happen, man, they're gonna say, yo, boy, we need to connect to this, man. See? At the time I come when the men of the Lord I get the power to heal people, man. See? Because that been in the past. But this man I gonna do film thing and a lot of people are gonna take him cheap. See? Because they want to have everything easy, man. See? Let's continue back to verse 16. It says Revelation 13 and 16. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in the right hand or in their foreheads. See? And that no man might buy or sell.
So no man are going to buy or sell. That's what going to reach to you. You're not going to be able to survive in this new system or this new way of life where you saw either a push right now right across the world to basically accomplish. Because everything I go digital. And in order for you basically eat, you know, you have to basically take them cheap.
Gun.
So, no man are going to buy or sell, save he that have the mark. But the scripture in Isaiah, I think Isaiah 65 and verse 12 says, my servant shall eat, and he shall be hungry. So you're going to feed him servants. Yo. And Amos 3 and 7 said, surely the Lord will do nothing but he reveal it, the secret and the servants the prophet. So we have to have faith. Yo. So the Lord basically have faith, I will basically feed us. Yo. Now the time to come. I'll go back to faith. Go on.
That again. Again, 17 again. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
So you're not going to be able to survive. You see, but through your house, we believe that you basically, you know, get food to eat. You. Because I feed him servant, just like when I pass. You know, like for example, Elijah. Raven feed basically Elijah.
Basically, if you're not no faith in the Most High and take this man RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, what you become is that man's servant, man. You become the so-called white man's servant for life. So the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yeshua have nothing to do with you, man. See? From as an Israelite and you go and take that white man, so-called white man chip, man. Hey, it's the Lord done away with you on this part, on this side. See? You're gonna get cut off on this side in the flesh, man. Back to the first article here, it says, Andrew, it says, too much of our business requires us to travel, when there are more convenient, cheaper, and more efficient ways of doing business. We have to become a digital society. So the government already has measures in place.
Measures in place. And over the years, we've been hearing speaking about Jamaica, they've been lagging behind. What?
measures in place, but now it is imperative that we move those measures forward. Only stated.
Done.
It says pointing to online banking, the Prime Minister further suggested that a basic way of moving towards the creation of a more digital society is for Jamaicans to open a bank account.
Done.
See?
Online banking.
Everybody to get connected to the system, man.
Done.
See? And it says one simple thing we can start to do as Jamaicans, all Jamaicans, is to get yourself a bank account. That is the start of moving online. I know it is difficult, very difficult, but I think the banks will understand that this is something we have to promote. This is something we have to promote. See?
The send down from the UN.
Can.
It's all about going back to UN, as I mentioned. Agenda 2030.
I show you and a them thing, man. Them said them have to promote it, man. See? It says understand, this is something we have to promote, and in coming weeks you will hear of other measures being put in place.
Yeah? You have other measures
being put in place. See? Being put in place to ensure that we move onto digital platforms to conduct financial transactions, the Prime Minister said. See?
Exactly.
That if you notice, even a Port Antonio here, where we live, the banks, all of the banks are change out from the teller system to more ATMs they are putting in the bank, money machines. They are push people to use the ATM money machine go more digital. If you have a certain bank here in Port Antonio, the Jane Bank. If you go inside the Jane Bank now, they might move it towards the machine, or you pay $1,000 to see a teller. So now they might charge you to speak to a teller, man.
They might force you.
They might force you to
accept.
You
know, this new way. Go on, brother. Give me Isaiah 28 and 15.
It's Isaiah 28 verse 15. It says, because you have said you have made a covenant with death and with hell, are we at an agreement?
Because Angeles said you make a covenant, you know? Death and hell. And who basically represent death and hell? Give me a Habakkuk, brother. Habakkuk 2 and verse 5.
Habakkuk 2 and verse 5. It says, yea, also because he transgressed by wine.
Talking about the so-called white man.
He's
basically Esau today. Go on.
He's a proud man, neither keep it at home.
Neither keep it at home. In everybody business, yo. The American military in everybody business. They are the police to the hurt. So she said, keep it at home. Go on.
Who enlargeth his desire as hell.
Who enlargeth his desire as hell. Talking about the so-called white people. Shall the true people called Edomites. Go on.
And is as death.
And is as death. So that represent what? Hell and death, yo. Go on.
And cannot be satisfied.
And cannot be satisfied. So so-called white people, they can never be satisfied.
See? Gather it unto him all nations, and heap it unto him all people.
Exactly. See? All different people from all different walks of life come to America, you know, to live. You know, because, you know, America known as the golden city.
So this man represents death, man.
And going back to Genesis. Blessed with them, our forefather Isaac give to Esau, Edom, the sword. And basically the sword, a weapon. Basically bring up death and destruction, you know.
That's right.
See, go back, brother, to the scripture that I read.
Because you have said, Isaiah 28 and verse 15, because you have said we have made a covenant with death and with hell, are we at an agreement?
Are we at an agreement? Go on.
When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us.
Go on. Say, if you some of them go good, you know, because they bring forth Esau Edom agenda to the tea. Them, if you say some more Esau, put them up safe. You know, when shit hit the fan, you know, and chaos start right across the world, them go safe. Go on.
And we have made lies our refuge, and on the falsehood have we hid ourselves. Therefore, thus say the Lord God, behold, I lay in Zion a foundation, a tried stone, right?
Precious cornerstone.
It's like a stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone, a sure foundation.
Run.
He that believeth shall not make haste. Judgment shall also lay to the line,
Run.
and righteousness to the plummet. And the hail shall sweep away the refuge of lies,
Run.
and the waters shall overflow the hiding place.
Because right now, this truth right now, I basically push right now heavily on you too.
Can.
You know, and Esau been basically pushing lies from the time they come to power even to this very day. You see me?
Science, as I tell the science, man.
And through the spirit and power of Shemesha, you know, this truth, you know, I basically go hard now. I destroy Esau, Edom lies, where Esau, Edom been telling over the years here. Because we live in a time of them destruction.
Verse 18. And your covenant with death and hell.
And your covenant, your agreement, all leaders across the world, you know, amongst all people. We hear the Trinidad and Tobago leader I mentioned about the cashless society.
We need to go cashless.
We need to go cashless.
Digital
Likewise,
society,
likewise Barbados. So that's what the scripture says. Your read a part again, brother?
And your covenant with death shall be disannulled.
Your covenant with death, with the so-called white one, shall be what disannulled. Go on.
And your agreement with hell shall not stand.
Shall not stand. Now go stand here. Go on.
When the overflowing scourge shall pass through,
Go on.
they shall be trodden down by it.
Go on. Exactly. So you're going to get destroyed. She say,
They that consent unto
them
them
shall
shall
be
add in derision,
God.
be trodden under foot.
Exactly. Second is 16.
16, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the book of Ecclesiasticus 13 and start at verse 4. I'm start at 2. It says verse 2 says, burden not thyself above thy power while thou livest, and have no fellowship with one that is mightier and richer than thyself. For how agree the kettle and the earth pot together? For if the one be smitten against the other, it shall be broken. See? So guess what? You and the white man are not the same people, man. See, the so-called white man. So guess what? You and them can never come to an agreement. See? Even though him come and go and sign a covenant, him come in peace and him come with all these nice things to you. Yo, this man is not your friend. See? He's your enemy. See? So all these leaders of the Caribbean are take to this man agenda, you know what is going to happen. You and this man can never come to an agreement. See? He says the rich man hath done wrong, and yet he threateneth with all. The poor is wrong, and he must entreat also. See? He says, if thou be for his profit,
if you be for the so-called white man profit, like what you do right now, because right now be for him profit right now, you know, basically bring forth what this new world order agenda across the world. All these countries now speaking about, you know, all of a sudden speak about this cashless society. Which go back to Esau Edom, because they want to basically bring in this digital society.
That's right, man.
So you say if you basically read that part again, brother.
It says verse 4 again, if thou be for his profit,
like I'm a prophet of our right now, go on.
He will use thee.
He will use thee, go on.
But if thou have nothing, he will forsake thee.
Go on. Exactly.
This man is used to carry out his agenda.
Go on.
Which is right, man.
As you say, them think that what the covenant with death and hell what they make, it have a stand.
Go on.
You know what I mean? So, I just tell them, man, as them use you, them will dispose of him. As them use you to carry, because what they basically do, use you to basically oppress us and get us to comply in a dear thing.
Can.
You know what I mean? Which is ultimately prophecy. You know what I mean? But as soon as them done that, man, you know
and the lesser peons them down here as Jake, we don't have the knowledge and understanding of the spirit of the poor Lord Yahweh Shemeshai. Hey, them in the long term, them are going to turn upon you as them leader, man. Them not going to look this so-called white man, so-called white man and do them harm. Them are look upon you, where they are above them, man.
Because when them do it, you know, basically what them doing, them make it seem as if it's their agenda.
Yeah, can.
Because nobody people don't know, say, this go back to the UN agenda, man.
Can.
So a lot of people willingly do it, you know, because the government make it seem like a dear thing. And when they do these things, in a for them mind, them convinced say yes. You know what I mean? It's going beneficial and it's going to help we as a nation.
Can.
See, so them just deceive come out right now.
Can, which is right, man. That destroys the people. Yeah? He says, if thou have anything, he will live with thee.
Can.
Yeah, he will make thee bear and will not be sorry for it.
Can. Exactly.
See? As a soca white man, the scripture says never trust thine enemy, man. See?
Like as iron rusted, so it's basically wickedness. So a lot of people going to learn that the hard way. You can't learn the easy way, you're going to learn it the hard way.
Which is right.
Man. So that I say I'll praise and honor to Yahweh, and double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to all our brothers and more here, push the truth in all sincerity and in all honesty. Shalom.
Shalom.